Let's continue on with our information. Now we will move into talking specifically about the FAFSA, or the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. Moving forward, we are going to refer to this as simply the FAFSA. The FAFSA collects demographic and financial information about the student and their family. The information gathered is used to calculate the student's aid index, or SAI, that we previously talked about. Colleges use the SAI to determine eligibility and to offer students financial aid. The FAFSA application is available in both English and Spanish. The FAFSA may be filed at any time during an academic year, but typically no earlier than October 1st in the prior academic year for which the student is requesting aid. So, for example, for the 2023-2024 school year, the FAFSA would have been available on October 1st, 2022. Now, why, you ask, did I not use our upcoming 2024-2025 school year in this example? Well, for the 2024-2025 academic year, which will start fall semester 2024, the FAFSA was available to be filed starting December 31st, 2023. This is due to the significant changes that the Federal Department of Education has made in response to the FAFSA simplification process. Colleges may also set FAFSA priority dates. Meeting or not meeting a college's priority date may affect the amount of financial aid a student may receive or be offered. Check with each college or university to determine if it has a FAFSA priority date. The FAFSA collects demographic and financial information about the student and family. There are two ways that the FAFSA may be completed. The most common and most highly suggested way is to complete the online FAFSA. This is available at studentaid.gov. There is also a PDF version of the FAFSA. You must contact the Federal Department of Student Aid or Federal Department of Education to access this FAFSA. Please note, we strongly discourage students from using a paper FAFSA unless it is the student's only option for completing the process. Before you can begin your FAFSA, you have to create an account, username, and password. We will refer to this account as the FSA ID. The FSA ID is used for FAFSA completion and also allows access to certain U.S. Department of Education websites. Students and parents, or as they are now called, contributors, are each required to create their own FSA ID. You can apply for your FSA ID at the same website where you access the FAFSA at studentaid.gov. The FSA ID is used as your login to your FAFSA. It is also used to provide consent and approval to transfer federal tax information from the IRS to the FAFSA. Because of this change, contributor information is also authenticated during the FSA ID creation process. We encourage students and contributors to apply for an FSA ID 1 to 3 days before starting a FAFSA. It will take a few days before the FSA ID information is verified with the Social Security Administration or TransUnion if the contributor does not have a Social Security number. This is a change from prior FAFSAs starting for the 2024-2025 award year. Contributors without a Social Security number will be able to create an FSA ID. These contributors will be required to answer self-identifying questions through a verification service called TransUnion. Please remember that students still need to have a valid Social Security number to be eligible for Title IV federal financial aid. The online FAFSA can be found at studentaid.gov. From the home page, the FAFSA application can be accessed through the FAFSA Form tab. Select Complete the FAFSA form from the drop-down menu. Please note that there are often two available FAFSA forms to complete. One for the current school year and one for the upcoming school year. It is important to note that you must select the correct school year when starting the FAFSA form. From there, you will be taken to a page that is going to begin to prompt your login. It is recommended that the student initiate the FAFSA process. To do this, you want the student to be the user to access the login page first and complete their section. A new change to the FAFSA form this year is that parents or spouses are now referred to as contributors. When the student starts the FAFSA, they will be prompted to identify who the other contributors on their FAFSA form are. The student will enter in the information for the contributors, and an invite will be sent to the necessary contributors requesting that the contributor provide the required information and sign their section of the FAFSA. Students will no longer be able to enter parent information on their FAFSA while logged in with their student FSA ID. Another new change for this year is the Future Act Direct Data Exchange, or the FA-DDX. The FA-DDX allows for certain tax information to be transferred directly from the IRS to the FAFSA without utilizing a pass-through to the IRS website. This direct exchange of data is what prompted the change in contributor consent and changed how the contributors submit their information. Consent is required by all contributors entering information into the FAFSA. The IRS will transfer tax information to the U.S. Department of Education to populate various FAFSA fields for most tax filers. This eliminates the need to manually enter your tax information. Once the tax information has been brought over from the IRS, you will not be able to manually modify that verified information. This also means that you will no longer have to complete the DRT, or the data retrieval tool, when completing the FAFSA. This process is now integrated directly into the FAFSA. Let's take another moment to pause. We have completed our discussion on the very basic of FAFSA information. Take a minute and review the information we have covered. In the next section, we will move on to entering student information into the FAFSA.